Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Lewis Speaks 2024, and today I want to talk to you all about internal conflict. You know, there's something in your life that you are being required to give up right now. Something that needs to be shifted within you in order to realize your purpose and your destiny. You know, in order for you to realize certain aspects of your potential, of your greatness, you have to be willing to let go of certain aspects of your personality, certain aspects of your identity, certain aspects of your life. And I think it's this letting go that really is challenging for some, even myself. You know, I struggle with letting go of certain things in my life that I cling to. And I think in many ways, it's creating this internal conflict and this internal disturbance. You know, I've asked myself why I've felt on edge lately, why I've been feeling so on edge, and I realized that I'm being called to let go of certain things that I'm struggling to let go of. And I need to let these things go in order to realize a higher calling. But at the same time, I have had to let a lot of things go and a lot of people go. So I've struggled with grief over that. You know, while I knew it was necessary to let these people go and these certain situations and just behaviors go, it's still a loss. It's still a loss because you feel as though those things were doing something for me. Those things were filling some void in my life, but now I had to let those go, and then they're replaced with what? What do I have to replace those things with? And that's the thing. You let go of so much and you have nothing to replace it. It creates this sense of loss and almost abandonment. And if you struggle with an abandonment wound, you're going to feel it immensely. This is why a lot of people, they struggle to make behavior change, because when you're changing certain behaviors and you're letting go of certain bad habits and you don't have anything to replace those bad habits, you'll definitely experience a feeling of loss. And it's hard to deal with. It really is very, very hard to deal with. But I also realize that you are being called for something greater. And you have to shed those old skins. You can't stay attached to those old skins. Because if you continue to attach and align yourself to certain past behaviors, you're going to stay stuck. You're going to stay stuck. So like a caterpillar, in order to realize the fullness of its wings, it has to let go of the cocoon. It has to say goodbye to the cocoon in order to fly. You know, you have to say goodbye in order to fly. That's life. And that's the thing that hurts. People don't really tell you that. They don't talk about this. They don't tell you how much it hurts to let go of bad habits. And even though these things were not good for you, even though you know they weren't really helping you get to the next level in your development, they were still a part of you. They were still a part of your life. They were like old familiar friends. And imagine yourself doing something for like 16, 17, 20 years. You had a friendship. And then having to let that go. It's painful. Last year, I had to let go of a over 20 year friendship and an over 10-year friendship. And I'm just like, wow, man, it's just like all this change. You know, it's a lie. It's a lie. And so while you know it's necessary, you definitely know that I got to do this. I have to let these people go and let these behaviors go. It's still a struggle. It's still a struggle. And you have some really good days with it. And then you have some really bad days where it's just so difficult to even muster up the motivation to get out of bed. You know? And this is what Instagram and social media and Facebook, they don't show you this aspect. They always show you the beautiful side, the fun side. But they don't show you the real crazy work that goes into behavior change. You know, they don't talk about the depression, and they don't talk about the grief that comes along with changing your behaviors. So I'm here to tell you that, like, you're not alone. You're not alone, because a lot of times you feel like you're alone on this journey. You feel like nobody understands where you're coming from. You feel like nobody can relate, nobody can identify, and that's not true. Truth is, a lot of us are going through it right now. We're having to shed those old skins, those old cocoons, in order to realize our wings. You know? And the thing about it is this: it's not easy, but it's not impossible. And you have to stay committed to the journey, because the thing about it is this: you are being called for something greater. I know that. Like me personally, I know I'm being called for something greater than where I'm at. And so when you know that, you can lean into that. You know that there's a purpose behind what I'm experiencing right now. There is a purpose. So I rather this feeling than the feeling of suffering in vain. Dealing with people and you're going through hell, but there's no end game. There's no end result. All you're doing is going through hell, and you have nothing to show for it at the end but what? More frown lines? Stress? More gray hairs? Nah. So the thing about it is this: you have to lean into the knowing that what you're going through is only temporary, for one, and it's something that is necessary in order to realize that next step in your development, you know? And so I lean into that thought. I keep that in mind. And so I just roll with this resistance. You just got to roll with it, ride out this wave, you know, because that's what life is. Life is just a series of waves. You have your high waves, you have your low waves, you have your low tides. You have to just learn how to ride the waves, you know? And so I just wanted to do this video for those who are struggling right now, trying to understand why they've been feeling so lost, so confused, so just discombobulated, just so discombobulated. Like lately, that's the best word that I can muster up. Discombobulated. I just feel so like my life is here, my life is there. I don't have enough time in the day to do everything I want to do. I feel like life is closing in sometime, and it makes you feel anxious. And so, I don't know. There's just a lot going on in the world, and I think that we oftentimes reflect what's happening in the world. There's a lot going on in the world right now. And so I think we're being called to heal spiritually. I think we're being called to heal emotionally and mentally. I think we're being called, and it's just being pulled in so many different directions that creates that anxiety, you know? And I think that it's definitely necessary. It's definitely a necessary part of the journey, you know? So if this is how you're feeling, once again, just know that you're not alone, you know? And I definitely wish you healing on your journey. Just know there are people out here walking the same path. So I hope this video was helpful. I wish y'all a wonderful, wonderful 2024. Peace, y'all.